I'm nervous. I'm legitimately nervous. If you put me on a lie detector right now and you said, who's the greatest sports journalist in the world, I swear to God, I'd say Pablo Torre. His Pablo Torre Finds Out podcast has been nominated for a Peabody Award. They've Edward R. Murrow Award. This is no joke. This guy's a real journalist. Now, some of us, when that idiot Bill Belichick, that bully who talked down to so many people, even though he's a big, stupid idiot, when we first saw photos of him with his teen girlfriend in front of corn mazes and the such, knew that trouble was afoot, and we were persecuted for such views. Just let him be him. I knew something was going on. But it took a hero. It took a hero to justify all of my thoughts. Pablo Torre, a journalist, a hero, and a host of the award-winning video podcast, Pablo Torre Finds Out. Pablo Torre, thank you so much for joining us, sir.
My life is pretty weird these days, guys. It is good to talk to the people, I think, who foresaw exactly how weird all of this was going to be. It's a pleasure to join you.
It's a Shakespearean tragedy in real time, my friend, and it is fantastic.
It's beyond weird too, Pablo, because it's maybe at its truest essence so funny, because we lived with the stoic in Bill we trust culture here in New England for so long.
All of us who got beaten up by him over 25 years.
So to see
glorious.
this happening now, it's beyond funny. It's some venturing into the realms of Shakespearean what's taking place now.
One of the greatest stories I've ever... I was not bold enough to imagine this. Maybe you guys sort of saw it earlier than I think anybody else. And again, your audience has been letting me know that this is overdue, me being able to say some of this to you guys. But what I don't have time for, when I do now so much of my thinking around this story, what I don't have time for is the abiding of this theory that this story is beneath us. This story is not a story. This story is not interesting. I just ask anybody out there, maybe I'm preaching to the choir here, if you have the greatest coach in the history of America's most popular sport who becomes the highest paid public employee in the state of North Carolina, and he behaves in ways that are diametrically opposite to every principle he used to hold publicly over decades, and all of this is happening with a level of just truly like some combination of Succession, Curb Your Enthusiasm. I put some Lifetime movie in there with that level of absurdity. It just means that you don't know a good story. And so there is nutrition here. And also there is, I think, a truly ridiculous level of detail that has consumed my entire life.
See, yesterday, Hardy was getting sick of me talking about it, and I said to him off air, I go, just do this exercise. 10 years ago, if 10 years ago someone came from the future and said that this was going on with Bill Belichick, would you be interested? And you would be like, this is unbelievable. This is the greatest thing that's ever happened. And the fact that you're a journalist and covering this like a journalist makes it 1,000 times better. And 1,000 times funnier, to be honest with you.
And in fairness, Fred, I was just sick of hearing your voice. It's not the subject matter so
well, that's
much.
just crueler. All right, so Pablo, since I've been following this so closely, I'm going to save you the rigmarole, and I'm going to get down into 3 subsets of things I want you to talk about. Good. This is how I've decided to attack this interview with you. And again, you are an incredible journalist. All right, let's start with the most benign of all of them. All right, so Jordan Hudson is fascinating because for many reasons, but one of them is her insistence that she's a PR maverick and that she's somehow equipped to handle this job. This CBS morning magazine show, as you know, they're looking to just satiate people on a Sunday morning. They're not looking to gotcha journalism. She managed in some heroic way to screw that up. You're obviously talking to people that have been involved in TV with Bill Belichick and broadcasting with Bill Belichick. Can you kind of take us behind the scenes of what that experience has been like for those people?
Yeah, and I'll take it to a level that wasn't in the episode actually, because you guys want to get deep on this. And my show, by the way, we take stupid things seriously and serious things stupidly. This is real journalism that I stake my credibility and reputation on. CBS Sunday Morning initially wanted to do this at North Carolina. They wanted to do a piece with Bill Belichick, a puff piece about him being at the University of North Carolina. And one of the key voices saying, we cannot do that, should not do that. We need to save North Carolina for another thing to monetize, another media enterprise. Maybe this would have been Hard Knocks or whatever else was being cooked up. That was Jordan Hudson saying that. So they had to pivot and they said, okay, what if we do this in Annapolis, Maryland? What if we do this at Bill's old high school? And that was the scene that they never got to do. You guys know this. They do a walk and talk puff piece sort of a thing. Like, this is where Bill Belichick learned football at the knee of his dad, one of the greatest assistants. Like, that thing never happened because of what you saw out in that 8-minute piece on Sunday morning. But it's a case study in what happened over and over again as I talked to 11 different people who directly worked with Jordan Hudson. It was the repeated through line of Jordan Hudson, now age 24, thought she knew how to work in media, and not just work in media, boss everybody in media around that she has met. And so when it comes to, as someone put it to me, a stunning combination of a lack of resume and an unbelievable cockiness, you end up doing things like accidentally trying to puppet master something from behind the scenes that actually makes you a character on camera, on mic. This happened at NFL Films on that set where they launched a half dozen media projects, which alone, by the way, as you guys know, would have been insane to contemplate for Bill Belichick, period. Like, that alone is a crazy thing. But she was also, trashing the people working on set into a hot mic that she didn't know was on. Dozens of people heard her
and
do
that's
that.
insane. Like, the way she's fumbled this, why, like, the idea of, like, that this is the woman that he chose and that she just happened to be this brazen and dumb is fascinating. But, like, why is there any theories on why she feels like she's qualified to do this and why she feels like galvanized to or entitled to, like, boss people around?
She has a nose for where power can be gained. And this is not even an insult. It's actually the thing that makes her, on some level, clever. She walked into this relationship with Bill Belichick, who was absent for the first time, the insulation around him, right? Bears Najarian goes to work for BC, as you guys know, because there is no NFL job for him to take. That was his protector on the PR side. The Bill Belichick you got was Bears Najarian's mediation of the idea of Bill Belichick for 20 years. He's out. So who's left? It's Matt Patricia, it's Josh McDaniels, it's Mike Lombardi. It's this inner circle he meets with on a pre-dawn standing call every day to talk about football. And Jordan Hudson enters this world, and she's like, wait a minute, I'm the alpha. I can be in charge. These guys don't know what they're doing. These guys all are too afraid to tell Bill things that Bill needs right now, as for the first time in his life, a media figure, a public person who also needs to appeal to the internet and young people. And so here is Jordan Hudson, a young woman that he's met when she was 19 years old on an airplane, as we report in the piece, which had, just details, fact patterns. But what Bill says to everybody he works with now as this media person is Jordan is, quote unquote, brilliant, and you got to pay her. And so he was asking for 6-figure jobs for Jordan Hudson from all of these, from at least one media partner I directly confirmed this with, who said, we cannot do that. But that's the idea, is that she was, as those emails at North Carolina that got FOIA'd, public records requested, indicated she was on all of the emails. She was writing some of them. She was the person he needed to talk to Bill. And my way in on this story briefly was because I saw the Super Bowl ad in February, as I'm sure you guys did.
Yeah.
And what I noticed was, like, wait a minute, why is she in this ad? Dunkin' Donuts didn't ask for Jordan Hudson, right? Logically, who no one even knew who she was really. And what I found out, what I reported in February, was Jordan Hudson had appointed herself the agent to Bill Belichick. And she was the person talking to Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, who were like, what the bleep is happening? What is this dynamic we've entered into that results in her getting paid to be in this ad because they want to get into business with Bill? And that repeated pattern started behind the scenes last offseason as Bill was launching all of these media projects.
Okay, so we know, obviously, Jordan Hudson's, as we've been told to pronounce it.
I miss calling her that.
I
but
know.
You guys,
I
know.
insist upon it. You can call her
Please,
Jordan.
please,
You're the journalist. I am not. So we know her motivation, obviously. This leads us to Belichick. Why is he like allowing all of this? We haven't even gotten to the money yet, but why is he allowing? I can understand at first just going like, I don't care, right? And then that might be a way to defend him. It's like he's just like, social media, I don't care. But then, he knows it. We can't play like he doesn't know a Dunkin' Donuts Super Bowl commercial is a big deal. Like we can't play that asking her to like boss around a CBS crew of professionals isn't a big deal unless he's become deranged. What are you hearing about Bill and why he's continuing to allow this to happen?
It's a great question. I have been checking at every turn. Like, is in any way this a story about cognitive abilities, right? Is this a Joe Biden thing, frankly? And what I was told is, this is from people who are around the Belichick family. Look, there are now, because of Jordan Hudson, auto pen jokes. That's happening.
Wait, what? Explain. I don't get it. Go ahead.
The whole idea with the Joe Biden thing, as has been pilloried in politics, it's there's a machine that signs his name for him. He's not actually signing the things.
Right.
So the idea is this an auto pen situation? Is he even doing the stuff himself?
Okay, I understand.
Got it.
Okay, go
ahead. But a brief digression, because the real thing is that I am not hearing that Bill Belichick is infirm and is being totally puppeteered. I think it's just an indictment of him. He's made a series of terrible decisions that he tried to not be interested in because the guy is the least internet fluent of anybody we've ever seen in sports. But you're right. There are just now a number of episodes where it's indefensible for the greatest defensive strategist in sports history, maybe, to not see what's happening here. And the CBS thing, it was so interesting behind the scenes to be reporting on this before that happened, because when that happened, the floodgates opened in terms of people saying, this is our opportunity to maybe put an end to how Jordan Hudson is in charge of everything around Bill Belichick, including her influence over the North Carolina football team. Like, that is when people around him who were too afraid to intervene were like, okay, every tabloid's on this. Everybody in the world is talking about this story. Bill can't deny it anymore. And so that's the change in the power dynamic that we're seeing literally this week. Is all of that happening in real time.
So I believe the second tier of Fred's three-pronged approach in this is the football.
Yeah, take it.
Because there are some people who say, I don't care about any of this.
Well, I care about North Carolina. Like, if I can just, I'm sorry, I'm too excited.
I got a good way to get into it.
Okay, very good. Go ahead.
All right. So if you just care about the football, Pablo, how is this affecting the football? And specifically, what did you make of the statement that UNC made after your episode came out saying that she was banned from the football facilities?
I think that people who saw that as a denial of my reporting misread and misunderstood how PR works. So there's a world, guys, after which I report Jordan Hudson is banned from the building and from the field, which is something that I stand by today based on direct reporting with multiple sources, by the way, who told me there was this meeting now a week and change ago with the most powerful people at UNC and the athletics department telling the football team she is not welcome here. She can't be around here. We don't want her here. It's bad for the whole business of, again, $10 million a year for the guy who was supposed to be the opposite of this. And everybody around Bill Belichick, his family, his inner circle, they agreed. Like, that's the thing about this, is that Jordan Hudson and Bill were kind of on an island in terms of, should Jordan be around this much? The video from the field you saw, that went viral. That was just a glimpse into the backstage of this, in which she's on every email. Again, maybe not writing some of the emails herself.
Yeah, and we've had reporters like Breer and stuff in here that know the guy, and he's like, "There's no way," and they can point to stuff in the email like, "There's no way Bill wrote this." Is there?
That I could talk to you about that level of analysis for like 20 minutes, but the question you asked, I think, is the right one, which is, so what did they say and what did they mean when they denied the reporting? And what they could have said, just as a matter of PR, right, is this reporter has this absolutely wrong. She's welcome to our building anytime, period. And I would have been like, wow, that's a strong denial. Instead, what they said is, Jordan Hudson is not an employee of the North Carolina football program. She is welcome here, but she is only allowed here in a personal capacity running Bill Belichick's personal branding operation, not the football team. She is not an employee of the university or the football team. They basically said that 3 times. And that was the pretext for what we saw Belichick say at the ACC meetings to ESPN, in which he says for the first time, by the way, no one had heard him say this before, that is a relationship that is personal. It is off to the side. She doesn't have anything to do with the football program. So when I say in my reporting that she has been told you can't be around the football program anymore, I would say that the real headline off of that reporting should be, North Carolina and Bill Belichick for the first time confirmed that Jordan Hudson has nothing to do with the football team, which is a change from what it was before my reporting came out. And I'm not saying that to just blow my own horn or whatever. I'm just saying that because what is behind the scenes of all of this is a power struggle in which people have been trying to get Bill Belichick to do this stuff. And as you guys have seen, for months, for more than a year, he has refused to do it because Jordan Hudson is the one mediating his public relations. And now they have a new PR person. They have these new rules around what she can and cannot do. She's not going to be around the building and the team in nearly the same way that she was on camera, famously, virally. So it's a non-denial denial is what my very short answer would be.
All right, and it's funny because nationally, it's like these idiots think that like Bill Belichick is bigger than North Carolina, right? Like because he won Super Bowls, it's like North Carolina is a rather, but has a rather. I mean, we all saw White Lotus. I mean, this is a university with a rather proud and like in a lot of ways successful alumni base. They brought him in, as you said, to achieve the exact opposite of what's going on. They brought him in to legitimize their football program, not make it a joke. And so the idea that they won't push back, and the Lombardi, that clown, which I'm sure you've heard is screwing up anyway, his own self, is he surrounded himself with idiots. But in no way is this his family's fault. But this leads us into, and obviously we've all heard some things about this, but this leads us to the family. Obviously, there has to be a concern there among the family. What have you been hearing about that?
They are panicked that the thing that their family has built, that he has built as the patriarch of this family, the Logan Roy of their succession story, that it's being incinerated by a 24-year-old who doesn't know what she's doing. They're freaked out. I mean, look, as a human level concern, imagine it, right? Like, hold on, your 70-year-old dad shows up on a leaked ring cam video, shirtless.
The greatest video.
I mean, and it's an incredible artifact.
He's so confused. It's so great. He's got those boobs on him.
Can't sidestep that one.
No, it was great. I enjoyed that. That might be my favorite video of all time. Go ahead.
It's the thing that Brady made fun of at his roast. It's the thing that everybody has now known about. But imagine if you're one of Bill Belichick's family members. Like, my first instinct would not be, look at the D cup on dad. It's how many other videos are out there like this that he had no idea were being filmed. Who leaked this? How did this get out? Right? So that's, by the way, the sequel to this is, I'm working on that right now.
Oh boy.
The story of that video. And there's a lot. But the question, I know, I'm not trying to just.
That's all right. You do you, Pablo.
We're deep in this.
Yeah,
man.
you're a
I'm
journalist.
Not getting out of this rabbit hole for anytime soon.
Please swear you won't. Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
But that video being the thing that is released in 2023, something people may not know that I didn't even have time for in the episode is that the first time people spotted Jordan Hudson around the Patriots, around Bill Belichick, was when he was the coach of the Patriots in the fall of 2021. It wasn't 2023. They've known about her showing up as early as the fall of 2021. She was sitting, I was told, in Bill's outdoor seats at Gillette. Yeah, I think they're in section 120-ish, maybe, like end zone view. She was spotted in those seats as early as that. And so the question of like, who is this person coming around now? What's her deal? What does she want? These videos are leaking. Wait a minute. Now she's making a series of behind the scenes disasters, showing up at commercial shoots, uninvited, scripted, $1 million things, not even the Dunkin' Donuts thing, but the Underdog commercial in which she says, I got an idea, comes and shows up with a yellow polka dot bikini on and says, I'm ready for the scene that I want to direct effectively. And people have to, like, as I was told in the episode, create a scene that they put on a camera that may or may not have been on even to satisfy Belichick, who's standing right there. Belichick's watching all of this, totally normal looking. This is what I say. Like, Belichick's been around to watch all of it. He's not, as much as you can say he's not online, he was on
Mulaney made the joke.
There.
Yeah, he pretends he's not. He calls it InstaFace, but he's on it all the time, right? We have to pretend that he doesn't know. So, look, Pablo, successful men fetishize younger women. I mean, like this, it's a whole thing. Like, you know,
sure.
But what has fascinated me from the beginning with this is, fine, Bill's having sex with a young woman. It's funny. I mean, that's funny to me. But it's when they started going public, like him at the corn maze, like him, like the fisherman shoot. Like now it's like, what the hell, dude? Like I wouldn't do that. Like so. Like I would, I haven't. Like I mean, I'm single. Girls have been like, you know, hey, girls want to be on the internet. I'm like, no, I don't want to be on Instagram. I got kids, so I don't want them seeing it on Instagram. So, my question to you is this: what is the personality defect in Bill Belichick that allowed a man of his stature and wealth and power to let
and practices and the way of living his life to have all that upended?
Right, like to give, it's not the dating her, it's giving her this kind of control. Like, what is it with him? What are people saying? Why is he allowing this all to happen?
Yeah. Look, Bob Kraft was his own history, romantically, let's say. I think he had it right when he said that Bill Belichick is an idiot savant. The guy is a football genius. But that does not mean that genius applies to anything beyond football. And he is, for the first time, testing that theory. He's out in the world, not coaching in the way that he was at the NFL. He's not protected by all of these people. Yeah. And it turns out, when it comes to decision-making outside of football, he has proven to be something closer to a fool. I don't want to say that in any sort of like moralizing way, because you're right. I would love to see, by the way, you at a corn maze. Don't mind Bill Belichick being on the hook as a fisherman.
It was funny. It was pretty funny. But it also was like, dude, why are you doing this? Like, what? Like, why would you let her do this? Like, I get it, man. If she wants to put out like a Christmas card, but it's like, if I don't know. That was when I was like, what the hell? Like, now it's like. That was just funny to me because it seemed like he was kind of whipped and he was just letting her do whatever.
Oh, it's a story about power.
Right, exactly.
So that's what this is about. The reason why this is both tabloid and substance is because one of the most powerful people in sports lost that power famously, right? Was not allowed back into the NFL in any way that he wanted to be, and then figured out, what do I do next? And he started to do the things that are totally opposite to his character. Truly, his character as his principles, his character as his public persona. And the question is why? And the answer, in large part, is he trusted all of that to Jordan Hudson, 24-year-old he met at age 19 on an airplane. And I would just ask, when it comes to this larger framing of Bill Belichick, I would ask the following question. What would the Bill Belichick you guys covered in New England say if he was in charge of the Bill Belichick who is in charge of North Carolina football? Right?
Yeah.
What would he say to him? Distraction? Doing your job, discipline, privacy, discretion, defense, all of this stuff. It's just, you couldn't script it to be its more diametric opposite. It's wild.
See, Pablo Torre, he's smarter than me, so he makes it sound better.
Yeah.
So that's why I love him.
Yeah.
Pablo, don't stop. You're doing yeoman's work. I swear to God, I'm not kidding. I'm not even. It's not hyperbole. Like I'm in love with your show. Pablo Torre finds out. I mean, it's the greatest. And thank you.
I thank you for saying that. My show, like, I will do things where I become obsessed with topics where people are like, why do you care about this much? And I just have to ask them to trust me that inside this mystery box that I've spent months working on is something that will delight you, and I'm glad that it's delighted you guys.
Yeah, because like I'm just like kind of like a comedian, like, and so like I'm just making fun of stuff. But like when you, who's a real journalist, like sink your teeth into it, it's so fantastic. And the fact that you appreciate it and can synthesize why so well is amazing. Pablo Torre, I've can't say enough. Pablo Torre finds out. Obviously, everyone's glued in. Katie Nolan, who obviously is a friend from around here. Everyone loves her. All right, as part of it too. Pablo, thank you so much. You're doing great work. We appreciate it.
Look, my in-laws live in Boston. I know of you guys. They could not be more thrilled that you talk about their son-in-law in this way.
And I am consistent with it. All right, Pablo, thank you so much, man. We appreciate it.
Anytime, guys. Truly.
Thank you.
All right.
See you, Pablo.
All right.
All right. Now I have to go wipe up.